do not own any of the music playing in this video. Y'all, I'm so tired, y'all. What's up? What's up, Create Fantasy Art? You joined last time. You're a real one. I'm so tired, y'all. I had surgery like 2-3 days ago. I can't tell y'all why, but I feel like poop. Even though I'm not poop. What's up? I'm not poop. You guys are not poop. Okay. You can still say, I'm the shit, but you're not poop. So I'm gonna just get on here real quick because even though I'm struggling, I don't even know how the fuck I've been functioning. Like, one moment I'll get up and then the next moment I'll be like, why are you up? My body, excuse me, my body will just like sit me down. I don't know if it's the transit. Maybe it definitely is the transits for me personally, because the way my chart is set up right now, I don't got a lot of energy like that. But I wanted to hop on here real quick and just be like, give y'all some tea on reasons why you can't give up. And the first reason is because your future self is gonna your future self is not gonna allow it to happen. I know when I get them little, you can call it spirit guides, ancestors, whatever, but sometimes it's just your future self. You know, when you guys have those moments where you're looking at your goals or you're thinking about your goals, and then in the present moment you're like, I don't want to do it. Well, guess what? It's your future self that's fucking dragging your ass to complete that goal, because it knows if you go ahead and do it, regardless if you feel like doing it or not, you'll be happy in the long term. So sometimes I feel like, for the first reason, we don't really see how, you know, when we get out of the past, when we get out of the future, our present self is truly being divinely guided. And if we kind of just get over how we presently feel and we realize, you know what, I ain't even gonna feel like this in 2 seconds, it gives you a reason not to give up. Okay, second reason. All of this is straight off the dome, straight channeling. The second reason is, you know, it's kind of like, it's just going back to like why, you know what I mean? A lot of times the reason why people give up on themselves, even if it's just for a moment, is usually just because of emotions. And I really like to tie this into astrology, because of the fact that with astrology, the planets, the stars, everything is constantly moving, everything is constantly shifting. So I see a lot of times people start stuff and then stop it. I've done the same thing. You start something and you stop it. You start something and you stop it. And it's like, your reasoning for probably giving up was either because a fucking emotion or something that just triggered you to kind of think like, it's almost like make you put your dreams or your goals to the back burner. You ever had like a list of shit that you need to do for the day, and then somehow you get distracted and you haven't even done half those things? Or even think about our attention span nowadays. Our attention span be like fucking, I don't even know what you want to call it. Like, literally you would be doing something 1 minute and next minute you're not doing what you were supposed to do. So a lot of times, you know, your second reason not to give up is just to realize, like, besides the first reason, your future self won't let you, the second reason is like, why? You're going to come back to the same problem. You're going to come back to the same issue 2 minutes later, 2 days later, 2 months later, 2 years later. And a lot of times what happens is when we give up and we just forget to stay focused, you end up realizing, and this is what happens to a lot of people, you're going to run into the same problem until you solve it. So you shouldn't give up, because it's like until you solve that issue or until you actually just get over it is the reason why you shouldn't give up. It's just going to keep popping up, no matter how many distractions, no matter how many different things in your life come and oppose you or in your way. So, I guess you can say, hello. I guess you could say a third reason you shouldn't give up on yourself. It's just simply because of the fact that we said first, it's just because your future self won't allow you to. Then we round it into a second, you're going to just fucking have the same problems and issues. And do you want to sit around and complain about something, or do you want to change it? Okay? So we can't run from our issues or problems. We got to be the ones to solve them, right? The third thing is just realizing it's like beyond why. It's kind of like, why did you even make that goal or that thing in the first place? You clearly wanted to do this in the first place. Like, so honestly, you have to sometimes ask yourself the reason why you shouldn't give up, or why am I giving up right now when this is something I supposedly desire to do. I supposedly really, really want to do badly. I want to achieve. I want to accomplish. So then it's like, the whole giving up energy should be able to disappear. You know what I mean? And we still got 2 other reasons for, how we can get rid of that energy so you can get back to what you need to do. But just think about it. Like, the third reason is literally like, why did you even make that goal or that task in the first place? Like, literally. The fuck? And then that's where it's like, in the second reason, it just goes back to, you're going to run into the same problem, same issue. You're going to just remind yourself, damn, I really want to do this, or I haven't completed this goal yet. So don't get distracted. And then the first thing is like your future self. You want your future self to be like, oh, wow. Look at me. Do you want your future self to be like, oh my gosh, you really did it, you listened to me? Or do you want your future self to be like, bitch, you got the same issue and problem from 3 years ago? You know what I mean? So I don't know what the fuck just happened. Crossbar just turned into like a fucking bomb in the face. So yeah, ask yourself for the third reason, like, why did I even make this goal or this task or this responsibility in the first place if I didn't want this dream or this thing to come true? So is there really an option of giving up? No, because it's like you're literally giving up on you. You're basically saying, fuck what I'm trying to create. Fuck my creation. You want to call yourself a goddess or god, or you want to call yourself a spiritual person. For my spiritual people, is like, sometimes we can't get lost in our creations. We just got to realize, like, we created these things for a reason. All right? You can always change them, though, but at the same time, don't give up on yourself, though. So, the fourth thing, the reason why you shouldn't give up on yourself. Hey, what's up? So, we said the first reason is your future self won't let you. The second reason is you're going to keep fucking finding out. It's just going to keep being shown you need to do this. The third thing is, why did I even create this in the first place? If I'm just going to go ahead and give up, it's like, it doesn't even make any sense. If you're going to just give up and give up and give up, it's like you'll never really create anything. So then the fourth reason of why you shouldn't give up is honestly just because it's only up to you. At the end of the day, the choices you make 6 months ago up until now are the reason why you are where you are right now. So it's almost like at the end of the day, you can't be mad at anybody if this thing that you're trying to achieve doesn't happen because you gave up on yourself. Now, I don't think you guys are going to give up on yourself. I think regardless of what happens, friends, family, people going, people leaving, you want to say health, you want to say money, you want to say whatever the fucking obstacle is, whatever the problem is, you're going to find that solution. But you got to ask yourself, like, for that fourth reason, like, like, is it worth it? Is it really worth it to, at the end of the day, go to sleep and then be like, wow, I really just didn't do what I came here to do in this life? I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. I think you might have your emotions. I think we might have our moments. But when we can just breathe through those moments and realize they're moments, and we don't need to let temporary emotions make us make permanent decisions, that's the fourth reason, and that should be a great reason for why you shouldn't give up on yourself. Is that at the end of the day, some shit just has to get done. And when you guys say, you have a calling or a purpose, it's no such thing as giving up. Because when you don't operate and follow your purpose or your calling, guess what? It's almost like, I always say about this with artists and stuff. If certain artists back in the day, Prince and Michael Jackson and all these great people, didn't get up and sing their songs, some of us wouldn't have had motivation 10, 20 years ago, depending on our age range, to get up and go to work that day. Maybe you needed to hear that Michael Jackson song, or you needed to hear that Prince song so you could be in a good mood so you can do something else. So it's like sometimes, for my fourth reason, I'll say is you can't give up on yourself. The reason you can't give up on yourself is because if you give up on yourself, you're just giving the rest of the world another reason to give up too. It's like kind of going back to, at the end of the day, like your influence as a goddess or a god, you know what I mean, in this reality in which you're trying to create for yourself and create for others around you as well. And so that leaves me off with the fifth reason for why giving up on yourself is pretty much not an option. And it's not an option because it's just like, it goes right back to the future self thing. Now you're not in your present self, you're in your past self. It's not an option because if you make it an option, you're gonna just ruminate over the past. You're gonna be stuck in the past, and everything that doesn't happen because you gave up, because you allowed giving up to be an option. It's just gonna start turning to problems. It's gonna start turning to issues. It's going to start turning to complaining. And it's going to start turning into you living in a reality that you were completely unhappy with, that you were completely unsatisfied. And then you see these people, and we call it the misery loves company people, the crabs in the barrel people. All right? Where people just gave up on themselves like that should have been a fucking option, and it should have never been an option. And then nothing ever changes. And you're stuck in the same cycle. And then you see these people, and they look like they're fucking stuck in a damn time warp, and nothing has ever changed. You ever left somewhere and then came somewhere and it never changed? Okay? Think about that. You ever left somewhere and came back and it didn't, everything was the same. That's why you shouldn't give up on yourself. Because unless you want to stay the same in a reality where we're meant to grow, in a world where you're meant to grow, guess what? That's gonna be on you at the end of the day. So I hope that helped y'all. That shit was just off the top of the dome, but grow, because otherwise if you don't grow, you're basically dying. So I just don't want anybody to stay stuck in a cycle or a pattern or be like what we see, like a lot of times where we leave places and then people are still the same. It's like, you don't want to be that person. So that is your fifth reason. Peace.